In this video, we're going to talk about employee productivity and how you can improve it in your business. Hey everyone, welcome back to Restaurant Ninjas, where we help you run your restaurant and not let your restaurant run you. My name's Matt Roberts, and if this is your first time here, welcome. This channel is all about leadership, management, restaurant operations. If you work in a restaurant as a leader at any level, this is the place for you. Make sure you go ahead and hit subscribe. If you're not a restaurant person, but you are a manager, this is also the place for you about 75% of the time. You might as well go ahead and hit subscribe too, and all of you might want to hit that little bell notification so that you can be alerted when I put a new video up each and every week. We want our employees to be fast and efficient, but that's a lot easier said than done. In fact, just about every leader in every industry is constantly working to improve productivity amongst their workforce. The best ones accomplish this over time by focusing on ways to both motivate their team and make the job easier. I found that the best ways to consistently improve productivity are to incentivize the tasks, make it fun, show best practices, but always start with why. So if we're going to start with why, let's put ourselves in our employees' shoes and ask the question they're wondering. Why does this matter to them? What's in it for them? With them, if you will. Simple. The less we pay and the more productive we are, the more we're able to pay our employees on an individual basis. If it's preparing for a busy part of the shift and just prep in general, the answer is the more prepared we are, the less stressful the busy part of the shift's gonna be. If it's a cleaning task, the why is we just wanna get it done so we can deal with the rest of the job, and we always wanna have a clean restaurant or business because who the heck wants to work in a dirty place? The next piece of this, and one of the most impactful pieces, is making the job fun. How do you make being more productive fun? My favorite way to do it is to challenge them for continual improvement. And the more competitive the person, the more this is gonna work. Challenge them to get faster each time they do it. The best way to do this is to use benchmarks and share them. So for example, if you're trying to improve your productivity from a labor standpoint, share your sales per man hour, share your labor percentage, share how productive each individual employee is. How many items of prep can they get done per hour? Time them doing specific prep items. Hey, Jimmy can slice a whole case of tomatoes in 15 minutes. It takes you 18 minutes. Hey, isn't second place really the first loser? You tell me you can't do it faster than Jimmy? I bet you can do it in 14 minutes if you put your mind to it. Obviously, you want to make sure everyone's safe and doesn't do anything reckless, but challenging them by using benchmarks, really, it goes a long way. I mean, think about video games, how often people are playing just to beat their own score. Turn the job into a video game and things will get better. So we talked about how you can do this with labor. We talked about how you can do it with prep. Speed of service, same way. If you're tracking your speed of service by the minute, share that and make it a competitive game, and they're gonna wanna get better. The next part of improving productivity is to incentivize. This one's kind of common sense. Simply provide higher pay for higher productivity. Don't just do this arbitrarily. You can't just be like, I think you're better, so you're gonna get paid more. It has to have benchmarks. I worked as a training manager in a warehouse that had a really cool system where it would track how many cases each employee picked per hour, and for every case they picked over what they should have picked based on the average person, they actually had an hourly rate increase. So if they picked 10% higher than the average, their pay went up $1 an hour, and so on. How does this work in regard to restaurant productivity though? You're gonna monetize them by hitting certain benchmarks around certain metrics. So for example, speed of service, prep benchmarks, labor percentage. All of these things measure productivity in some way, and by incentivizing them to make more when they do them faster, they're gonna go faster. And in the long run, if you incentivize it correctly, you're gonna make more money too. One little hint with this is don't de-incentivize the fast employees for getting more done sooner. So for example, if you have two people working on separate equal parts of a prep list and one guy's done 3 hours before the other guy, don't make him then go and help the other guy finish his list. That's not right, because now the first guy, the fast guy, he's incentivized to go slower because he knows that if he finishes early, he doesn't get to go home early, he doesn't get anything extra, he just gets to go help the guy who slacks off. So it's really important that you think that way and don't de-incentivize people for going too quickly. For example, I used to have a dishwasher who would go slow on purpose so that when all the other employees were done closing, he could say, well, I'm really behind, so I guess you guys are gonna have to help me. And then they'd all help him and do his job for him, and they'd all leave a half hour late. So one night I got really tired of it, and I said, okay, everybody, see it. He's like, wait, isn't everyone coming to help me? And I'm like, no, they finished their job. You haven't finished yours. And he, of course, gave me the, I got hours of work to do. And my response was, well, good news. I have hours of work to do too on the computer, so I'll be in the office working on the computer while you get these dishes finished. Let me know when you're done and I'll check you out. 2 hours later, we were finished. The problem was gone the next shift. The next piece of improving productivity is to show and don't tell. Show them how to do the job as efficiently as possible by following SOPs. Reduce the steps they have to take to do a job. Reduce the amount of times they have to go back and forth and just do unnecessary tasks. Keep your expectations realistic and ensure that people who are just far exceeding anybody else aren't taking shortcuts. Maybe the guy who can cut his tomatoes, I'm gonna go back to that example again, faster than everybody else is cutting them faster because he's not washing them. So make sure you're keeping an eye on those type of things. Use these tips, watch your productivity rise while your profits rise. Until next time, remember, it is a beautiful day to be alive. Later.